Moose is in the house. Moose is in the house. Watch out. Watch out. Here's Moosey.
Hey, what's good, everyone? My camera's all off. Holy moly. How you been? Damn, it's so bright. Look at my face. I'm like atomic. Here, give me 1 sec. Hope you guys been good? I've been good. Oh, that's right. My computer crashed and all my settings got fucked up. I had like a legitimate computer crash yesterday, which, you know, never fun. Not much you can do about it, though.
I want to play video games.
There you go. That looks a little bit better.
Hoping you're doing well.
Hope you're all doing good. Oh, I'm doing well. Why is Worm so fat in the old animations? He's just a chunky boy. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Umi and Frenzy Potato, thank you, guys. Appreciate the subs. Very kind of you. Tentacle with 35 stream streak. That's too many streams, man. Appreciate it, though. This fucking thing is falling off. Look at this.
I want to play video games.
Hey, Nash.
There we go. It's a little bit better. This one here is falling off too at the bottom. It's whatever. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just needs to stop some sound. Hey, Zaf. How are you doing? We're doing fantastic. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking, everyone. So, a little bit of news. Hey, Go Pause. Thank you for the gifted. Very kind. I had been doing this like week-long event. And I was like 4 days into it. And then they literally yesterday they're like, okay, we're gonna extend the event. It's complicated and I can't really tell you what it is or else, you know, I'll be doxing myself. But basically, holy shit. 5 gifted, very kind of you. Really appreciated. And the Tekken tournament this Saturday got 4th, won $26. That's pretty good, man. $26 for 4th? 4th was probably what, like 10%? That's pretty good. Very cool. But yeah, so I'd been doing this event and I was like filling out quotes and stuff for them because they're like, oh, like next week we want to like add extra stuff, yada yada yada. And then Jetstream, thank you, or Jetsteam, sorry. I thought Jetsteam and my brain, my mouth said Jetstream anyway. My apologies. But yeah, so I was working on quotes for them today, and I gave them the quote, and they signed it and everything, and then they're like, cool, actually, we're canceling all the events, bye. And I was like, okay, well, we're already like 4 days deep into it. What do you mean you're canceling the event? Like, what do I do? Like, do I get paid still? Like, it's just, I'm in like a limbo where I was literally working every day from now until like April 17th or something. And I wasn't going to be able to stream much because, you know, I was going to be working every single night. Monday and Wednesday were the only nights I had off. And then I would have had to work during the day. And now it's just like, I don't know. March is an expensive month for me too, right? So like, not to like belabor the point and be like, if you got primes, let me send them my way. But I kind of got boned out of like $4,000. So I'm like, what do I do? So we're gonna be streaming a lot more. My suffering is your gain. We're gonna be streaming every night except for Wednesday. But yeah, because I am technically a freelancer, I do all my own taxes and stuff. And what that means is that I have to pay taxes 8 times a year. So it's not like a big chunk once a year I have to pay. It's many, 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 many times per year. There's literally 4 months in the year that I don't pay taxes. But I still have to like do them in terms of like, this month I have to like sit down and like finalize everything and see if I owe more or less or whatever. And you know, it's The worst possible time to just be like, oh, all those days we booked you for, by the way, they're not happening. And so I probably will get paid out some percentage of it, but it's so fucking annoying, man, because it's like I could have said yes to other gigs, right? That's the whole thing as a freelancer. Having that shit like booked and then canceled is just, it's a nightmare. Anyway, I forgot to post that I was going live, so let me do some of that and we'll hang out for a bit. We got 25 monsters fighting tonight, so it should only take about 3 hours. I'm wearing new merch. I didn't even clean any of this shit up. My hand wraps. They're clean. They just need to be rolled. And we got my base. We got Pure Toe here hanging out. Yeah, I'm wearing I'm repping the gym. It's like the worst possible spot for the mic. It's a cool color of shirt. I do like the browns, the earth tones. And all of the shirts he bought are like earth tones. There's like this and like a cream color and like a dark green. And I'm like, damn, did I design this shit? Like, all right, let me announce that I'm going live. Also, you may have noticed I've been uploading daily shorts, just like things from the tournaments and stuff that I think are fun. Last couple of days, today included, have just been either games or full sets from the stream. I've got a bunch like in the backlog right now because I think that's a fun way to get more people interested in Monster Rancher. They've been doing pretty okay. And it's pretty low effort on my part. So it's sick. The Dragon Quest Monsters video has been popping off again for like no reason the last couple of days. And it's funny because it comes with the baggage of a bunch of like annoying assholes found the video. But for the most part, like 99% of people are fine. They're just innocent men, you know? Okay, why can't I post this? It's just a link. Oh, okay, it did work. Go live. Whee! And go live until midnight. There we go. All right, cool. So I got like dough all over my face. Dude, I don't know. It was happening with YouTube yesterday too. I don't know if there's something wrong with my computer. Like, it's kind of a miracle that Twitch is functioning right now and I haven't dropped any frames or anything, because I was having like the most bizarre issues like uploading videos yesterday where it would just like hang on the upload constantly. And like if I went to like post anything like on Discord, or right now it's happening on Blue Sky as well, just like anytime I went to post anything and like hit the like submit link, it just like fucked up and like nothing came of it. It's happening again right now. So I'm not even using the same browser I was using yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. I like... What the fuck? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. It's not that important. Anyway, we're gonna play some Monster Rancher. It's the most active I've seen you in a while. Just wondering if you're back or just need more monies. So it's kind of a combo. I am active as I've always been. I'm probably less active now than I have been in like the last couple of months. I'm always streaming at least once a week. But I have been uploading shorts because they're super easy, and I have like, I'm just uploading one a day until I get bored of it, basically. But yeah, I'm kind of burning out on YouTube. I'm gonna get the Rancher Rundown series done, and a few other videos that I have squirreled away in my brain pockets, in the creases, the folds of my smooth ass brain, and then I don't know. I don't know what the plan is after that. That's still a little ways away. Very digestible and fun. Wait until you see the ones that are less fun. I'll show you guys one that is not exactly the same like fun vibe, but I think it'll get the people talking, you know? Here, give me one sec. It's not coming out for a while. You guys are gonna see this here first. Also, the first two I had did really well, so it's kind of hard to gauge if a short is doing well or not. I have like no frame of reference of like what a lot of views is. I know like 1 million is like a lot of views, but exclusive preview, yeah. Here, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so yeah, okay. Where's my desktop audio? Oh, I have it there. There's so many like think pieces now about how it's like, who's to say if AI is real consciousness or not? I can't say. I couldn't possibly say. I'm not narcissistic enough to pretend that I understand what consciousness is. The part that's like most annoying about it is that they don't realize how embarrassing they're being. It's all these people who are like, the humanities and soft sciences don't matter. STEM above all else. I'm going to build myself a robot that can think. And then when they have to do the humanities bit for the first time in their life, they're starting at zero. They have no framework for like how to have like a basic philosophical like conversation or like thought process. So they start off where we all started off when we were like cynical 14-year-olds who thought we were smarter than everyone else. Like that's the vibe they have. And it's like, damn, dude. Like, who do you think would have won in an argument? You or Paul Dano's character from Little Miss Sunshine? There's so many like. So it's not all strictly Monster Rancher, but you know, we're getting to it. It's okay. Anyway, let's play some Monster Rancher. Ruffle some feathers with that one. Is Monster Rancher my only channel? Is it the only game I play? Yes and no. Searching the channel explains what's in the channel. It's just one of the main ones. Okay. So Metal in the Rundown next week? You already know it. This man already knows what's up. Okay, we got some middleweight matches right now. We had, what is it, 4 monsters? One, Down to Clown, Shape of Lamer, Hydroplex, Kokoro, Conquest, and Sank Hogheg all advanced to the finals. So none of those monsters are fighting tonight. They already got a bye. And then we're going to find 12 more monsters to compete with them in the finals. Very excited about that.
I want to play video games.
Freeman. Medium Mons, indeed. This is also Monkey Puncher channel? It is. It's the only Monkey Puncher channel. Though I kind of did Leo, like, pointing at the screen meme. I was watching a Donkey video, and he mentioned Monkey Puncher, like, 2 weeks ago. Which is, I'm pretty sure a game he's never played, but he just, like, Googled monkey video games and then posted the box art. Because he does gags like that a lot. And I was losing my mind a little bit. I was like, oh. It's the thing. It's the thing I know. You still turning monsters for the More Monsters tournament? No, it's still open. It's open until the 27th, so you got a couple of days. Okay, so our first match of the night, I guess I gotta get the game open. We got Smorbit and Manly Oak. 25 monsters. So it's not the biggest tournament we've ever done, which is nice, because it will be done a little bit early. And then tomorrow, I think I'm going to be raising my deluxe up monsters on stream. And then Wednesday I got sparring. Thursday we're probably going to do a middleweight rank C. We're going to get a second tournament out of the way. And then Friday I'm probably going to be doing more raising for the Deluxe Cup. So we got a couple of streams happening this week. Hope there's a lobster in store. There's a lot of lobsters fighting. It is Lobster Fest. Okay, there we go. It's working. Okay, I can close Steam. I don't need that. Do I have a monster fighting tonight? My monsters in rank D are what? Mano La Prancha? Is Mano... And then, Mano La Prancha is rank B, actually. And then Special K. Yeah, okay. So neither of my guys are in it tonight. Tomorrow, I'm finally going to download the More Monsters mod and adjust my textures so I don't have all fucked up textures for everything anymore. Gotta make some monsters? Gotta play the game first, though? That's true. You gotta do both. Finally set More Monsters a few weeks ago. Monster Rancher 3 on Saturday. There goes my free time. Good choices. I'm a big Monster Rancher 3 fan. And the game is very good. Snapdragon looks cool. I think so too. He's not done. I'm not gonna finish him in time. Because I'm pretty sure this is the last version of the More Monsters mod that will be uploaded by the time it's... before, like, everything closes. Because it closes on the Friday? Is Friday the 27th? Yeah, Friday's the 27th. And he usually updates on Friday. So if he does update again... Well, I mean, Dave's in chat. Probably won't be playing on that patch of the game. Okay. Smorbit and Manly Oak. Leave it unless there's something catastrophic I did yesterday, like with the Metal Nerd Worm. We got a week to figure out if anything else is borked, you know? Alright. Speedymon and Tankymon. Good first match of the night. Should actually be fixed right now. I saw you updated the... You had like a hot fix. Alright, Cyclone Opener, is it going to be enough? I mean, it's always going to do 999 damage. But does he grit, I guess is the question. What a broken attack, man. In this format, he grits it. So now, anything's possible. It's Zombocom, baby. He grits as well, though. They both got 10 guts. Next hit wins. Manly Oak cannot miss. Big asterisk beside that, but, like, he shouldn't miss. Dodges the 64 1-2 punch. The kick at 99 gives him the world's most slender boot. You got him. Tree does it. Cool Runnings and Gandalf Field. Next short right there. And then you guys know I'm clip farming now. I've been doing it for a couple of streams. You guys didn't notice that I was actually talking about the matches and not just, like, you know, what I had for dinner or whatever? Streamer RNG, it's rigged? Neither of them are mine, what the hell? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'll get it figured out eventually. Tomorrow's the final, like, get all my shit in order. Pretty cool, though. We got Intelligence, Kato. Or, Jill. Seed Gatling, big miss. Cold breath? Oh. That is accurate. If that's what we call clip farming, society's either progressed or regressed. I mean, it's the same as like when I would stream something for the purpose of making it into a YouTube video, like with whatever you call it, the Nuzlocke. Damn, I forgot the word. Like it, if I'm trying to have a YouTube channel and a Twitch stream or whatever, right? Like it makes sense to have them do double duty. And shorts work the same way. All right, no one landed anything? Oh, no, he did. Landed one tiny attack and it was enough. Game 3, here we go. Oh my god, he gets foolery and explodes? Yeah, that'll happen. All right. Game 3, Jet Jaguar and Ragnarok. I just realized, did Freya enter like multiple Ducklons? Because she also has what's his name? Primus in heavyweight. Imagine goofing off and then just getting clapped by Yeti for your troubles. The foolery, it being called foolery is really funny because sometimes they look like so depressed. It's like their brain like misfired and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here, man. Big damage there. Toxic Pollen 1%. Not a great chance for Ragnarok to hit. Putting all their ducks in one basket. All their bugs in one basket, too. Game 2. Can he hit the 5%? He cannot. B-Clon combo. Max defense. Yikes. Beat him regardless. Midori and El Snail Erico. Is Midori the color Pandora? No, it's the gel. It's the... yeah. And then this is also Freya's monster, I think. Yeah. Will they have to fight? No. Well, they'll have to fight if they make it to winter semis. So that's not a big deal. It's Japanese for green. It is Japanese for green, which is why I thought color Pandora. But no, it's the Chlorogel. When no one called her Jill Valentine. Have we ever had Pong? What's it? Pong Pong? Named Jill Valentine? I don't think so. Very good name, though. Interesting stat spread on the gel. There's a lot of interesting stat spreads in this tournament, which is why we're in rank D right now. Oh shit, Gatling gun. Big damage, but not enough. Gives him guard? Damn. Cut that damage in half. Sometimes you experiment and it doesn't work out. No, this is rank D. Did I say B? No. It's rank D. This is the dregs. I'm a fan of the dregs, though. I think that's what makes the rank separation fun. Me too. I think going forward, I would like to try something similar to this again. Less monsters. But something that I think is pretty cool is getting tiers. And then having monsters fight within their tier. And then if they do well enough, they can move up or down. I think it's a pretty good and elegant way to have a lot of close matches. Whereas stuff isn't just like a complete blowout. And also, it allows you the opportunity to make stuff that's like kind of goofy and... sometimes objectively bad, but funny. And... oops, I gotta get rid of the X. and have it still like maybe win. And it can just be like a low tier wonder, right? Like it could just be like rockin' in D rank. Let the weird builds fight? Yeah, exactly. Not everything needs to be like hyper maximized. All I do is make bad builds. I mean, that's most people. Most people are making bad builds. I'm one of them. I'm sorry about the dragon. Slamming down opener. Damn. Does a lot of damage, but Ivy has such a fast guts rate that like all those guts are back. Finally lands an intelligence attack though. Just stuck in that first slot. If Pixie doesn't want to push you away, like, she's in trouble. Hey, friendly, how are you doing? Love your tank worm? Yeah, Jamaro's fun. It's not that I didn't turn off the mods, it's that they're, the sprite, like the PNG that it flags is wrong. It's a good format in that way. Let the memes and the failed experiments duke it out. Exactly. Alright, I gotta update some scores, because I haven't done any of them yet. Manly Oak. Gandalf Field wins that one 2-1. Jet Jaguar wins 2-0. El Snail Erico wins 2-0. Bahamut Zero wins 2-0. Okay, Rosa and Guac. Both of these are going to be kind of hard to find, I think. Okay. That was my bad. It's the worm, right? Yeah. You've uploaded your mons? Hell yeah. That's it, right? No, it's definitely not that. It's... Okay, we got tanks. We got tanks. Let's go. Give him a little drown. Damn, dude. What the hell? Pinch throws the play here. He hits it. Suplex that train. I was trying to experiment with overriding the official tournament submission process the other day. With some real cryptic stuff. Like, what would you want to fix? Just like... I don't even know. Like, it's not a good system, what they have, but I'm very curious as to, like, what you were assuming you could, like, better, because nothing, like, explicitly comes to mind, but also it's not a good system, so surely it can be improved. Shinko and Stormtide. Also, that's, the like Komodo dragon being PogChamp, I still haven't gotten used to it. I think it's doing like type of face. Like it doesn't register as Pog to me. I don't think it ever will. But you know, sacrifices had to be made. It's a thought experiment. I have no idea how the tournament feature worked. The one they did in 2022. Oh, that. Yeah, gotcha. Alright, mixed attack or metal gel. Okay. Helicopter, big damage opener. Crits, doesn't kill on a crit. Tail Lash is basically the only move Stormtide does not want to use here. Everything else is fine. Stab. Oh, stab's gonna be enough. He stabbed himself in the head. Look at that. It's a Komodo dragon. All this time I thought it was a snake. It might be a snake. I don't know. The big wave riding. He got big smooshed. Next game, here we go. Ooh, the Gatling gun. It does okay damage. It's just not a good use of guts. 2 hits is 2 hits. I can't complain. Never really looked at it up close. Me neither. It's a very, very small little icon. Alright, Borbid, Torpor, and Baron up next. Dude, I don't know what happened. This is like a complete non sequitur. I blocked a couple of channels on YouTube that, like, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with or whatever, but they're political in nature, and I was just like, I don't want to see this constantly. Like, it's too much for me. And now, literally all I get is like people giving Pokemon cards to kids at card shows. There's like 9 or 10 different like people who like set up live streams and show themselves you know, working card shows, and like 99% of the shorts are just them giving cards to kids, and I'm like, what an upgrade from like being inundated with like angry political bullshit to just like, that's pretty cute. I like that. Okay, DXBL. I gotta figure out whose this belongs to. This is Kev's. Oh, the Lorica. Yes. YouTube algorithm kind of hit that time, though. Literally took me just, like, turning off 2 channels that I didn't even, like, dislike. I was just like, I don't need to see this. So it's basically that, and, like, skateboard clips, half of which I'm pretty sure are AI, and I just block it every time it's an AI thing. And then boxing stuff. Give kids free gifts was right there under the political hate. Lots of common names tonight, yeah. But a cute sticker of a furred seal from an artist I like and got inundated with seal videos on Facebook. That's okay, though. Worse things can happen. Top all doing, like, negative damage. Baron needs to land something. Does not have a very high chance to hit. Doesn't have much power either, all things considered. So it will need to land something kind of substantial here. 2 seconds left on the clock. I don't think it's going to do it. Rush Slash would not have done it. You getting seal stuff too now? Hey, baby. I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. I don't really remember the exact melody of Kiss from a Rose. So it's like, it's in my head, but with the music playing in the background, I'm just hitting random notes. There is so much that I might tell you, so much you can see. You remain. Yeah, okay, that's it. My power, my pleasure, my pain. Baby. Anyway. We got some singing in the YouTube shorts coming up too. About me slandering Kansas. Broomstick and San Hakushin. ADC shorts, but that's because I've been watching ADC a lot and people reacting to it. ACDC? San Hakushin. Amazing Digital Circus. I don't know what that is, but I'm happy for you. How does everybody know what this is, but I don't?
I want to play video games.
Hey, Northdorf. Thanks for ranching. Appreciate it. Indie animation series? That's kind of cool. Arrowhead Dragon is 18 guts rate. Good thing it only needs Claw, Pinch, and Sacred Combo. Well, yeah. Why would it have higher? It's like, what, 17 plus 19? That's cool. You guys seem to be enjoying it. I'm happy. Yeah. The T-Bolts. Okay, that's 2-0 for St. Hakushin, right? Next up, we got Plum and Manly Oak. Golem fight? Manlet Oak. Oakley Manlet. Pretty good name for like a... I don't know, like a ghost Gaboo or something. More monsters modders get on that. Big boy on big boy violence. One's more svelte than the other, but yes. They're both speedy. Because they're both afraid of the cyclone. Hit him anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright. You should be afraid.
Gazpacho Soup is here.
Alright, what's the point of running speed, man? One more. One more match. Oh, he grits. Does he hit his own? That'd be so sick. He went for it. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Unbelievable set. What the hell? He can't believe it either. Look at his face. He's just happy to be here. That's a combination shock and pleasure. God damn, dude. What a set. 2-1 for Plum. Gandalf Field and Jet Jaguar. Golem versus Golem matchups are savage. The highest chance to hit we saw that entire fight was 35%. And we only saw one attack miss, 2 attacks miss. It's just fun to be there. He liked being included. Alright. Similar builds, but we got speed versus intelligence. Here we go. The base when you get frame 1 cyclone. Ice Spikes will do it. Ice Spike's very good move. Just kind of situational because it's really, really crappy against tanks. Power punch combo? Oh my god. He grits it though. He doesn't care. Get some of the spikies again. Okay, Gandalf Field moving on. Sir Galaslam and El Snail Erico. Got to pull up his pants after that one? Yeah. I think Jill might be good. Many are saying it. All right. Can the snail do it? Or is he going to get smooshed? Okay, well, slamming down start. El Snail Erico has a way, way faster guts regenerate, so he'll be able to attack pretty soon. Goes for the electric whip, 44%, not super accurate. Wing attack, like the worst move Galaslam could be swinging. Given El Snail Erico a chance to get back in it, hits the whip, does not, or hits the stab, does not hit the whip. Misses the stab again. Trample, 700 damage. Look at that. Game number 2. Here we go. Tail attack. Big damage. Million whips. You're super dead. We're going to game 3. As you do. When you get knocked out, after knocking your opponent out, you got one more match. Violent Shell. Miss. Honestly, 42% chance to just instantly win it. Not too bad. But getting double trampled for your troubles... When you can't dodge when you're a full tank, trample's pretty good. 2-1 for Sir Gallislam. Doug, Bahamut 0. Doug is the Baku, right? Need a Baku emote? Who has the... Don't you have a diving press? Or is it someone else has a diving press? Skullcap is your favorite Jill, looks-wise, but he isn't the best. Yeah, he's sick. I've entered one Skullcap in one tournament many, many moons ago. Freya? You have diving press. Big Waloo has diving press. Oh. We're talking about the emote. Skullcap was messed up in that alphabet tournament? Yeah. Too many letters. Dragon combo? Oh my god. Alright. They start in slot 3. They both have instant kill moves. Who swings first? What a matchup. Another dragon combo. Doesn't even need to crit. He gets it. Alphabet tournament? Yeah, the alphabet tournament was one where they got points based on the letters in their name. Vert and Rosa. Very colorful names today. Bear. And all for the same monster, too.
I need your help burying his body. Oh, bring some towels and some garbage bags.
So, we got ourselves a flower worm fight. And one's a speedy and one's a tank. Look at that. Scrabble rules or Boggle? I don't remember. Alright. Tusk Slash, big hit. Oh! Extremely dead. Let's go to game number 2. Did I ever tell you guys that Flower Worm was the first monster that I maxed all of its stats out? I remember I like died the week that I was able to like get speed up to 999. So I just I like saved the week before, so he has like 998 speed or something. Or no, it was like just over 950 on everything, because that's all that mattered back then. Game number 3, here we go. Never actually maxed stats before? It's kind of tedious for no reason. Just to say that you did the thing. The last time I did it was for a tournament that Tecmo was holding on the Japanese version of Monster Rancher 2, the re-release before DX came out. I made a duckin'. And round 1, I had to fight a Metal Nerd. And in the replay, he hit backcharge crit, backcharge crit, backcharge crit, and I lost. And I was like, alright, well, I'm glad I spent a week getting this monster ready. Let's figure out how instant some of these matches can be. I didn't spell it right. Yeah, it's it really depends on matchup. Know how to do it, I've just never really wanted to. It is really just tedious. It's not impressive. It's just like it's impressive if you've like never played the game before, right? But it's not impressive to anybody who plays the game. It's just like a benchmark, right? It's like that's a thing I've done. It's about how I expect next week to go for my guys. We'll see. All right, and just one more thing. Holy shit, the crit tail lashes, that was enough. Isn't it crazy that like Japan plays this format in best of 1? So like that would be it. TV's Columbo's out. He lost the tournament. Alright, we're going to game 3. A slow march to game 3. Beetlejuice is such... I really like the design. Like, especially, like, on the head. The horn is cool. I like the horn, but, like, the actual, like... It's not really, like, a scale pattern, but it's, like, pretty close to a scale pattern on his forehead. Like, this section here. Like, I really like this design and the shading on it. And also, it's like... It's not blended very well at all, and I still think it looks cool. Like, this part here into the shell is just, like... You can see the line. And so stuff like that makes me feel a lot better about my designs. And I think that one looks pretty good. I do actually like Beetlejuice. Japan wants to save their time so they can all go out and eat together afterwards. I'm talking about, like, live. Well, like, on stream. And if you have 100 entrants, a lot of the tournaments are bigger, but they're also, like, people enter, like, 6 monsters into the tournament. And, you know, it's fun because you get to see a bigger selection of monsters. It's not like it's inherently bad. But because our scene is more, like, everybody enters one guy, I don't think it fits super well for, you know, our sensibilities. But, like, Japanese competition has always been about that, right? It's always very, like, one thing. And that's it. And then in the West, you know, we have series, and it's, like, a best of whatever. But, like, sumo competition just ended. And sumo competition is so funny because they fight... Is it 14 or 15 times over the course of a week, and most of the matches take like 10 seconds, and then you've lost. You're out of the ring, you're done. What's the format for Deluxe Cup? Double limb best of 3. Depends on entrance. Deluxe Cup has been historically single limb. 15 matches, thank you. Yeah, 2 weeks. And you can just get, like, ready for it, and then, like, you trip and you fall, which is, like, that happened, like, 2 days ago. One of the guys just fell over, and he's like, oh, that's a loss. Good game. I'm probably gonna keep Deluxe Cup single limb just because that's the way it's been. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. That's just the way it is. Some things will never be the same. Borbatorper wins it. Hot Chick Heaven and Saint Hakushin. It also gives it a little bit of a personality, you know? Like, this is the best of 1 tournament. Prove you're the best only once in such a short time frame? Yeah, exactly. And it's not I don't know. I think it's just like a different mentality between how the West sees competition and how Japan specifically sees competition. I don't know how the rest of Asia and whatever feels about it. But it's just, it's for them, it's very much like you were the best in this moment, and the moment is what matters. And for us is like, you need to prove you're better over more variables or more like varied situations. And like, it's not less valid or anything like that. It's just a completely different mentality. And you know the rules going in, so it's not like any of them were like, wait, what you mean I could just lose instantly? Like, no, they all know. They prep for it. But yes, it's also not like how I enjoy competition. Struggling to learn Godot, might swap back to Unity. What people's opinions on G Develop? I've been slowly getting back into Godot again. And I feel like this week maybe not a great example because I have to finish up the Rancher Rundown. But I think I'm going to start making some like serious headway on the game soon. Some people want them to definitely find the best player, and some people want their tournament to see who's the best today. Exactly. Godot, like from a beginner perspective, seems pretty easy to me. And I'm not saying that in like trying to be like frustrating or like I can't believe you don't get it type of way, because I don't know my unknown unknowns yet, right? Like there are no knowns. The things you know, you know. But yeah, it's like I'm at a point where it's like any issues with it, I'm just chalking up to solely like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing yet, right? And that's like literally where I'm at, where it's just like, oh, this isn't working? That's because I'm stupid. I'm a fucking moron. And maybe it's Godot, maybe it's not, but I don't know. I literally don't know enough to make the judgment call. We got Plum, Gandalf Field, Sir Gallislam, Bahamut Zero, Rosa, TV's Colombo, Borbid Torpor, and Saint Hakushin all advancing to the finals. Congratulations, give them a little clap. And then we will have 4 more monsters. And that will be a couple of rounds before we get to that. So let's keep going. Let's do all a winner side, and then we'll do all a loser side. Plum and Gandalf Field up next. Do struggle quite a bit, which frustrates me. I hope if I stick with it soon, it will be natural. So, are the problems you're having like you don't understand syntax, or like you don't understand the like the tree and how you nest things, or is it like I don't know what I'm doing in the sense of like you can't piece together the ideas themselves? Like if you're like, oh, I have a spaceship and I want to make it shoot, like I have no idea how I would do that. Or are you like at a point where you do understand like, okay, I need an instance for the bullet, I need a spawn point, how do I like put all that together? I need speed for the bullet. Maybe like, does it have collision or does it go away? Like, are the concepts there and you're just having trouble piecing it together, or are you just like, I actually have no idea what's going on? Because both of those are fine. They're like, everyone goes through both of those. I'm kind of at the latter. Like, I understand what I want to do and how I should do it. But then it's a lot of like, look up a tutorial on how to do that thing. It's a lot of all that. Sometimes I understand some stuff, watching tutorials a few times, but then I forget everything, have to go back to square one. You need to, and I suggest this to anybody who is learning any skill. You have to take notes. Whenever you are learning a new skill, doesn't matter what it is. If you're like learning bass or you're boxing, right? I'm using examples from my life. Spending time afterwards reviewing and thinking about what you just did is super, super important when it comes to not forgetting the things you just did. And you're not always going to do it. Sometimes there's not enough hours in the day, but it will help you like retain it way quicker. And so if you're like, okay, today I learned how to do object movement, or like I learned collision, I learned how to make a hitbox in 3D versus 2D or whatever. Just a quick like 10 seconds, jot down what you did and like a couple of like the keywords or, you know, the paths that you took to like make that thing happen. Like, oh, if I want to do that, I need to like initialize like this node or whatever, right? Because I'm the same way. I think that's 2.0. A lot of the stuff I learned in Godot, I learned over the course of like a couple of days, like almost 2 years ago. And then I've slowly been like getting back into it, but like I had to relearn everything. You're still learning, that's normal. You'll never remember everything. Part of being good at something is knowing where to go when you don't know something. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Totally understandable to just be like, this is tough. And when it's not, when you're not comfortable with it, the retention is very, very difficult. That's another thing now. Like, I've kind of stopped taking notes, and like, I'm still very like active in my analysis of like what I did in boxing and things like that. Like, I'm going to use boxing more than game dev, so I apologize, because I have not been doing game dev, and it feels kind of disingenuous to pretend I've been taking notes on my game dev right now. But in boxing, I used to be like, okay, what did I work on today? Let me think about it. I'll go home, I'll practice some of the movements, and then I'll write it down. And so when I was learning, I was able to like improve like fairly quickly because of that. And now I'm at a point where, you know, I've managed to keep that same kind of rate of improvement. It might even be higher now, but I'm a lot less reliant on sitting down for like an hour after the fact and like working everything out. It's more like, okay, that makes sense. I understand why that would work that way, and it's just kind of like an intrinsic thing now for a lot of the new concepts I'm working on. The big trample. It wasn't enough to kill? Dude, the double trample is so fucking scary. Never let Dragon have 54 guts if you are a tank. You're going to lose. More monster mod? That's new? Yeah, Kuzno, this is not... it's not finished. I forgot to revert the texture back to the old Gidris, the Dragon Metalner. This is a Dragon plant I'm working on, but it's like a work in progress. It's not there yet. Like, I've got the neck and the tail and the wings and like the pot are done, but obviously I have a lot of work to do still. Trample Dample? You got trumpled. Alright. That was 1-1. Let's go game 3. I think another issue is the mind frame. Now I'm getting frustrated and letting myself get defeated. I'm pretty bad for that too. Yeah, it was just 1-1. I was paying attention that time. I just accidentally clicked the wrong button. Agreed on the note-taking. I do that for practicing the flute. Yeah. But dude, it was so funny today. I hadn't played bass in like a couple of days. It's not... I've kind of fallen off like practicing all the modes and stuff. There was a little while, especially the year I bought it, where like every day I was practicing for a couple hours, like going through all the modes and at speed and like slowly building up. And I was mostly a pick player growing up, so like doing fingerstyle more and more and getting better at it. But it's kind of funny how like some stuff sticks, right? Like, I haven't played Walking Away, like the bass line from the beginning of the Dragon Quest Monsters video. I can easily play it. Like, that's been in my brain for 20 years. But today I was like, I don't know how it popped into my head, but I got Storm Eagles theme in my head. The and I was like, I bet I can play that riff. And I just sat down, and first try I was and I was like, oh yeah, okay. I just imagined it and it came out. I literally never played it before in my life. It's not a hard riff. It's very easy. But because I had been practicing, you know, scales and learning more about music theory, it became very obvious to me, just like as if it came to me in a dream, where it's like, oh, those are the notes. It's the 5, 4, 3, 1. And just like listening to it in my head, I was like, yeah, I bet that's what that is. Is that what it is? I can play the Chill Penguin theme too, but that one's fucking difficult. That's originally what the... Is it? You guys can't hear it, don't worry about it. Yeah. I was right. The Chill Penguin's tapping, and that was originally going to be what I did at the beginning of the DQM video, and I just couldn't get it like tight enough. It was like 90% of the way there, but I just didn't want to put something that was like really sloppy up, and whenever I went to record, I couldn't get enough repetitions of it to like seem legit. What bass do I have? I have two basses. I have this like crappy Epiphone Les Paul Special that's like a matte black, and it weighs like 50 pounds. And then I have this 5-string sound gear, which very cool color. I have a little bit of color grading on my webcam, so you can't really see it, but it's like it's like a purpley green pearlescent. Yeah, B-Clone wins that one 2-1. Piece is so cool. 5 strings are sick. I kind of regret buying it, I'm going to be honest. I really like the sound gears because they're like unbelievably inexpensive. Like that one was, I think, $1,200 for a 5-string, which is like kind of insane. But the 5th string is just it's so hard to like stop it from resonating. Like if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have bought the 5th. But then I couldn't play like my does he use a 5-string in Wilhelm Scream? I think he has a 5-string. It might just be down-tuned to hell. Borvid Torpor and Sane Hakushin up next. Oh wait, yeah, I wanted to show you guys the... Here. What is it? Chill Penguin. Bass tab. I'm not going to show the actual... I can show the actual tab, I guess, but it's not right. Like, this is not how you play it. You play with tapping. You don't play, like, the notes here. This is just some guy who doesn't know what's going on. But I think if you play, like, listen to this shit. This part's easy, obviously, right? But the beginning is hard. This part's kind of tricky too, but... Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but it's done with tapping, so it's not, you're not doing this that fast. Like with the string skipping, there's like absolutely no way to make that sound sound that clean. It's not gonna happen. Maybe if I was like significantly better, but at that point I would still just be doing the what do you call it? I would still just be doing the regular ass tapping because, you know, why do it the wrong way on purpose? Because it's harder. You can do it, I believe in you. I was like 90% of the way there. It was just, I was running out of time to like really practice it, and I was like, I have like actual video editing to do. So let me just do the video editing, and I'll play Walking Away, which is a song that I've been able to play like 100% since I was 14 years old. All right. Pre-fight Vile music. It's kind of funny how, like, if you talk about like good video game songs, some of the like the Mega Man stuff is like so well known and like so well revered that like you're not allowed to mention it anymore. Because it's just like, well, okay, obviously, like, vanilla ass take, like, why are you, we're talking about best video game songs, and you're like, oh, I really like Wily from, is it Wily 2? From Mega Man 2? Like, I really like that one. It's like, okay. But it's because it's fucking, it's like an 11 out of 10 song. It's like a perfect video game track. Or like any of the, like, Tim Fallon stuff, like, have you heard the Pictionary theme? Yes, I've heard it, man. But I shouldn't be, like, negative like that. Like, it is sick. It's very cool. I like Song of Storms. Yeah, exactly. It's sick, though. Is that a 1-all? No, it's 2. That's 1-all, I think. Everyone knows Plock, yeah, with the times. Yeah, exactly. Dude, Plock boss fight? Can you believe the boss fights for Plock sound this intense? Yeah, I can, but also you're right to be hype about it, because, you know, not everybody's born with innate knowledge of ball, you know? Mega Man filled with bangers? Shimomura's like, I don't know. It's hard to overrate the Mega Man music. Mega Man has a lot of the best OSTs, especially too. Bubble Man and Metal Man are my favorites. So many of them are so good. I remember learning Bubble Man theme on guitar. That whole album, the whole OST for that game is like perfect. Plum and Sir Galaslam up next. That was Bubble Man, right? I haven't heard it in like many moons, and I was just hoping I remembered the right one. Because Wily 2 is the... That's Wily 2. Bubble Man might be my favorite song from that. Alright, we got one attack. Sir Gallus Landing. Wily 2 is like the Mega Man song to me. Yeah, I get that. I understand. Tim Fallon was a master of those sound chips. Well, he did a thing that a lot of people just refused to do, which was use actual instruments. Most games didn't have the memory to like use an actual like sample, but the games he worked on, a lot of the games he worked on, he used like actual samples for drums and shit, and it shows because they sound like real drums. Sure, these kids are humming the Fortnite menu music or some shit, but the old stuff was so good. Yeah, it serves a very different purpose now. It's like, people talk to me about how good the score is for like all these different games, and I believe you. But orchestral music like that will never like hit the same way for me. It's just, it's not something I'm interested in. If I may get on my Timmy Chalamet soapbox for a while. I'm not going to the opera, you know? Also, Mega Man fan game music goes hard sometimes. I believe that. I think you have to live up to it. It fits the game in the moment, but nothing else. And honestly, that's all you need. The idea that everything needs to be like a fucking Megalovania is nonsense. The music should make the... It should serve a purpose, right? And the purpose is not necessarily like being your most annoying friend's aux cord pick. As much as I love me some like 200 BPM video game music, it's you're not getting the aux cord a second time. There's one game in particular that does makes Wily 2 look and sound usual by comparison. It probably looks and sounds usual because you've heard it 1,000 times, for being honest. Power Thunderbolt enough? Holy moly. Insane Hakushin gonna take that. Our winners finals is Sir Gallus Slam, Insane Hakushin. Actually, I'm going to hold off on winners finals. We're going to do everything else, and then we'll do winners finals, and losers finals, grands, and then we'll call it. Alright, we got to go all the way through Victory Road. We got Cool Runnings and Ragnarok. I knew it was going to come down to this. Can one of these monsters make the ultimate run? Maybe we farm this for a clip. I don't have the energy anymore. If I can get like 1 or 2 good clips from a stream, that's probably enough to sustain. Like, that's a good chunk for the stream. Like, the one that I've been uploading everything from... the one I've been uploading all the clips from is like 1 stream so far. And I think I have like 14 clips from it. So like that one's doing some heavy lifting. And like, yeah, I don't think I have the energy anymore to do it. If I'm not doing it at the beginning, we'll see what's up. All right, Ragnarok does not have a very good chance to hit here. Cool Runnings does not have a very good chance to miss, but I don't think it's going to be doing any damage. That's an insane amount of jabs. Look at how much damage that was. That's what, 13 damage? Love that for him. Cool Runnings in the lead. Another 1%, or 1 damage. Riveting match. Riveting match. Oh my god, okay. So he hits one at the very end, and it's not enough. He loses by 0.9%. All right, let's go to game 2. Crit 1 at the end? Yeah. It was double damage. Oh, he hit an intelligence stack? It might be over. So I plant this high tier? Yeah, exactly. You're seeing it right now. It's like both of these monsters were like designed in a lab to lose to each other. Like, nobody wins this. This is like a 4-4 matchup. Hits the lifesteal. Okay. So Cool Running's gonna win that one. This is like the Potemkin chip matchup. We're both losing. Neither the thing I love about Guilty Gear is that everybody is convinced that their character is like are done by. Like every other character is just like beating their ass. And it's so funny, man. It's just it's so untrue, and I'm guilty of it as well. I actually had a really long conversation with one of my friends the other day because we were playing HDR, which is kind of like a Project M for Smash Ultimate, and a lot of the decisions for like rebalancing and giving characters new moves and stuff feels like completely arbitrary. And some of it is like, I think this would be cool. Let's give this to a character. And some of it is like, you can tell they thought a certain move was like bullshit. Wrong hot chick? Yeah, wrong hot chick. It's hot chick with it's supposed to be the Dana. Did it go offline? Is it not uploaded anymore? Hotch. Oh, it's just a K. Just a K, okay. That's not how it's filled out in the form, excuse me. And then Smorbit. He still got a kill against the stronger Mon, but, you know, we can't allow that. Happy Chaos. Dude, Happy Chaos. The world's greatest mid-tier. The strongest mid-tier of all time. The character is constantly winning tournaments, constantly getting top 2, top 3, top 4 every tournament. And so it's just mid-tier. I have to play so much better than my opponent? Okay. I don't believe you. But it is a thing you say a lot. There's also this idea that, like, if a character is harder to play than another one, it can't possibly be, like, a top tier. I don't know. People are really funny. But yeah, we were playing HDR, and a lot of the changes felt really like, oh, this is a move I think is, like, unfun to play against, so I got rid of it. Which is, like, kind of stupid. They gave Puff, like, a slow-moving projectile that can be used in the air. So it's just, like, walls off a huge chunk of the screen. And it, like, that's not a thing Jigglypuff needs. Also, I've completely lost track. Is this 1-1? Is this... I swear I'll get back into it. I swear I'll start paying attention to what's happening. But, like, playing a mod like that, it really, really felt like people don't really understand what makes a game good, what makes a game fun, what makes balance interesting, what makes competitive. It's 1-1. What makes, you know, a game fun to play. And it is not perfect balance. Perfect balance is not a fun thing to play. Getting rid of a character's weaknesses to make it a strength is not fun. Like, that doesn't make the game better. Doesn't make the game more balanced even. there's just like such a misunderstanding of like what goes into making an interesting video game. And it kind of it made me think a lot about the discussion we had a little while ago regarding ROM hacks, and how I can't think of a single ROM hack that is a better game than the game it's based on. Because almost every single ROM hack has, to some degree, obviously this is not universal, but most of them, and most of the ones that when you think of, you're like, oh, that one's really good, are not good standalone games because they are given a wide breadth to expand on the ideas of the original game, because they assume you as a player already understand those ideas in the first place. You already understand what the game is trying to do. So something like a Pokemon ROM hack, or something that like lets you play Nuzlocke, or like Pokemon Emerald Broke or whatever, which is one that I see people talk about all the time, is like you actually think that's a better game. You don't actually think that's a better game. You think it's more fun because you are intimately familiar with the source material. But if that was the very first Pokemon game you played, you think that would be a better game? Kind of felt that in Dota. There's heroes who's considered easy that I'm bad at, but I find some mid-high difficulty easier since I feel they can do more. Yeah, there's that too, for sure. I've been feeling more and more that many people just literally don't know why they enjoy games. A lot of people enjoy games because they use it as a proxy for being good at something. And it's not that like being good at a game doesn't matter. It's just that it's the first time a lot of these people have been good at something. And so that's why, you know, the strength of their character matters so much to them. Even if they're not, you know, winning any tournaments, it's just they identify with the character and they spend so much time playing the game. Oh my god, the lifesteal hit that they get like personally like super invested. And I wasn't immune to it either. Like if you're in the mix, you're gonna feel that way for sure. But the Max Ketchum and Sakurai showdown of like the have you ever made a game Storm Tit, have you ever made a game thing is so fucking funny to me, man. People tend to look down on people who main or master easy to play characters. People in Guilty Gear, it doesn't matter who you play, everyone's looking down on you. Every character is bullshit, and they're right to do so. ROM hacks are fun, but because they're expansions of ideas and concepts you have come to expect, without that familiarity, it won't be good. I think the easiest example of this is you think of like Super Mario World Kaizo stuff, right? Pretty inherently not good as like a standalone game. But it can be good at teaching you the mechanics. It can be good at teaching you what to expect from a certain level. There's still a lot of like really important game design and philosophy and like decisions that come into making a good Mario ROM hack, right? But objectively probably not as good of a game as Super Mario World. And I think most people would agree with that, but it's just not a thing they think about. It's not a thing that is like a topic that comes up in their day-to-day. While it's all being removed next season because everyone hated it, but by the dev's own admission, despite being a universal mechanic, certain characters benefited way harder from it existing. Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of use out of it out of White Wild Assault as Bedman. Any exciting fighting games coming out soon? I mean, next season of Strive's coming up, but I haven't played in like a year. Love that as an Axel Goldlewis player, I get bitching about one, switching to the other and go, oh no, that was worse. Yeah, both of them. Why is the keep away character able to just bully me at close range? What's going on here? Marvel Tokon is in dev. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna play that game. It looks fine, but like versus games are not never been my cup of tea. I didn't play any 2XKO. That game came and went. They spent 10 years making it. The boyhood of video games took 12 years to make, and then they're like, we don't actually know what we're doing. And not in like a we are bad game devs type of way, but more of like we don't know what the identity of this game is. We don't know what we want it to be. So, you know, we're changing everything. Everyone in Guilty Gear is secretly Rushdown. Yeah, I saw the Lionel Massey video, the Leon Massey video. I called him Lionel Massey as a joke in a video like many years ago, and somebody got really angry. They're like, "You're so stupid. That's a football player." And I'm like, "I'm okay. Yeah, it's a joke, dumbass." Like, my bad. Like, do people in your life just constantly like act with like full earnestness? Like nobody ever like makes a joke in your day-to-day? Or are you going like, actually, that thing you said that was funny wasn't actually funny because it's not factually true? Like, some people, I don't know, man. But yes, I saw the video and I completely disagree. You gotta be kind of crazy or like not understand what Rushdown is to think every Guilty Gear character is a Rushdown character. Having Oki is not Rushdown. Getting Mix off of a knockdown is not Rushdown. Rushdown is like I don't want you to play the game, and I'm not gonna let you do something. Like, I'm going to initiate, and then you won't get to play the game. Facts are funny? Facts are funny. But all fighting games in there, you know, at the end of it are, don't let your opponent play the game. Run your offense. Run your strategies. Make sure they can't do anything. Getting close to somebody for combo is not Rushdown? No, that's true. But he did say that Dizzy was Rushdown because she gets huge mix off of a knockdown, and it made me laugh. Because I love his videos. I think he's a very intelligent person, and he's very thoughtful in his analysis. But, you know, you don't have to agree with everything everybody says. Alright, Ivy, very quick match. I thought Grand Blue was fun, but felt very hard to tell we did wrong and learn the game. I never played Grand Blue because I don't like the way it looks. I have a lot of friends who are like really into fighting games, and then I have a couple of friends who are like less into fighting games. It's not that one. I don't see him. They're like less into fighting games, but also they talk about every fighting game that they're like constantly playing as if it's like the best game to ever exist. And they'll be like, day 10 of getting all my friends to try Grand Blue. Like, why don't you guys play with me? And it's like, I don't like the way it looks, man. I don't like the vibes. The vibes are off. I'm not going to play it because I don't like the way it looks. I'm not going to play Eunice because I don't like the way it looks. There's a million other games I could be playing, and it may not be a fair reason to not play the game, but I don't like the vibes. And I feel like some of you folks got to accept that when it comes to Monster Rancher. It's a good game. It's maybe the best game. My favorite game. But if your friends haven't played it yet, they're not going to play it. It's okay. Every fighting game is a pyramid scheme with players trying to make sure there's more than 50 people online in month 2. That's true. You lock out all your opponent's options because you like offense. I lock out all my opponent's options because I'm sustained by the suffering of my opponents being unable to play. We're not the same. I lock out all my opponent's options because I think it's really funny when a character I don't control runs in front of the camera and they can't tell what's going on because it's completely like white noise in my brain that I don't notice anymore. And it's the most annoying thing on the planet for them. Holy shit. He lived it, though. He's in it. It's a little suffocation, no breathing. Both got 99% chance to hit, but Doug starting in that diving press slot, pretty big. Hits him again? Oh my god, man. I find people who are like, should I get MRDX? And answer, yes, you should. I really did play Bedman, yeah. Bedman's so funny, man. What a goofy character. And it's really funny how I'm aware of his shortcomings. I played other characters that were better. I dropped May and Gold Lewis for Bedman. And I know both of those characters are stronger. Gold Lewis was like significantly stronger when Bedman dropped. Bedman on release was like actual hot ass, but he's just so much fun to play that like even when I was like grinding for tournaments or whatever, it was just like I'm having more fun playing him, so I'm gonna keep playing him. I'm not too interested in winning. I'm gonna do my best, but yeah, every time I would like switch off him to play something else, I'm like, I could be playing Bedman right now, man. Some people legit mod out Delilah and then choke when they go into an event because they're not used to her, if they have any matchup experience at all. Yeah, that's true. I almost beat... Well, I didn't almost beat. I took a game off of... Who did it? Was it... Really good player. Really good Ram player at Combo Breaker in my round 1 pools. Fuck, what? SG. Took a game off of them, and then they fucking beat my ass bare back, butt, and balls, games 2 and 3. Like, not even close. I don't think I took a single round. Because they adapted. But it was very much like, you could feel they were uncomfortable. And I think they might have modded... I've never watched their stream, but I think they might have modded Delilah out. Like, that's the vibe I got. And then they were like, I can't let Bedman do anything, so I'm just gonna go hyper aggro, and I got obliterated. That matchup is unbelievably bad, or it was at the time. I don't know what it's like now. So, you know, a skill difference and a matchup difference, it was inevitable, but I was feeling pretty good for the first bit. I think Slayer's super fun, but everyone plays him better than me. It does the dumb side swap thing I don't like doing. The side swap thing is the reason to play him. It's so funny. Okay, I'll Snail Erico, winning that one. Jet Jaguar and Baron. Things like that are so funny to me, though. Like, I get it, like, Delilah's annoying walking around. And I'm not even worried about, like, someone, like, cheating themselves out of the matchup experience. It's their own funeral, right? But the thing that gets me is, like, yeah, I did this thing because, like, I modded out a thing that I found annoying in the game. Is really funny to me, man, because I'd mod out your fucking character. like, where does it end? I don't want to play against Ram as Bedman. Let's just mod out Ram. You're not allowed to play that character anymore. It is a Durahan, but it's not that Durahan. It's this Durahan. Like, I modded the game to make it easier for me. And then to lower my mental stack, basically. To make my mental stack easier. And, like, not seeing any sort of, like... I don't know. Not, like, justifying it as, like, well, it's just an annoying thing that shouldn't be there in the first place. As if, like, you are the arbiter of what is, like, legitimate within the video game you didn't make. I don't know. I liked Anji when I played at release, so I might pick him back and start playing again. Them, Abba, or Bedman. Bedman's really sick. He's not, like, nearly as complicated as he was in in Xrd. I never played him in Xrd. I played him like very, very casually, and like I absolutely did not have the brain power for it. But the way he works now is it's pretty. There's some like really niche situations that he has to worry about that, like, you know, someone like a Soul or whatever will never have to stress about. But a lot of the like basic gameplay stuff is pretty solid. It's pretty simple. The new Anji changes are really interesting too. They make him more of a character, IMO. Because the way a lot of Anjis played the game was like very aggressive, like spinning, hoping for like parry points and stuff. And like on release, that was absolutely not how you played him. You had to play like super, super counter hit type gameplay, like wait for your opponent to make mistakes and capitalize on it. And now he's a little bit more obnoxious and can be in your face. Answer's certainly a character. Manly Oak and Broomstick. I didn't play a ton of Xrd. I played a lot of Xrd training mode. I did a lot of the tutorials, or the missions, the combo trials. But I was not super interested in playing a ton. A lot of my like first few streams were actually playing Xrd with what's his name? Bill Nihilist. There's a ton of streams of me and him playing like Mei versus Slayer and Mei versus Zato. Played a bit of Xrd. Oh yeah, I didn't play a ton, but I played Ino. No, Eno. I always see it as Ino, but I know the name is Eno. Like Brian Eno. Biken's so funny because I never respect Biken players and then find myself in the most insane blender when they somehow get in for a change. Dude, that's 100%. Every Biken matchup is like, this is not a real character. This is the easiest match of my life. And then they do some like stupid cross up that like I see coming from a mile away and I still get hit, and then it's just it's over. I will never financially recover from this. Tail combo. I'm pretty sure that's 2-1 for Broomstick, right? We're having fun. We're talking stuff that's not the game. Yeah, 2-1 for Broomstick. I think Xrd would be my favorite if I just got into Guilty Gear like 2 years earlier. Yeah, I feel that. I actually really like Strive as a game when I played it. People love to hate on it, and like all of the reasons to hate on it to me felt like very superficial. Like it was all like it's bad because it's not X, and which I don't think is like a legitimate reason to dislike a game. It's like, is it a good Guilty Gear game? I don't know, but like as just like a standalone fighting game, I think it served its purpose. Smorbit and Furiosa up next. Only fighting game I ever got into, really enjoyed, was to 10.5. I didn't know there was that many games. They're releasing decimals. As a lifelong Axel player, my brain turns into paste the instant I have to go back to Xrd or plus R. Either I lose all my special moves or I still have them and they've changed the input. Yeah. Them changing the... How do you feel about them changing the input for Bomber? I have a bad habit of finding fighting games fun and interesting, never long enough to get decent at any of them. That's the thing that I think a lot of people who play fighting games don't want you to know. Is that it's okay to play a fighting game for like 10 hours. It's okay to like play a game and have some fun with it and not get good at it. A game like that for me I'm not very good at. I've maybe put like 40 hours into it. I think it's really fun, really good, is Tough Love Arena. Browser-based fighting game, free to play. From the makers of Scramble Heart City. I think it's a fantastic game, very fun, very easy to like get into, very footsies based, and you know, I don't need to grind it for 200 hours. I've enjoyed my time with it. But a lot of people see fighting games as like this is a skill I need to spend time perfecting, and at the cost of other things, which isn't necessarily true. Unless that's the goal. Unless the goal is to get extremely, extremely good, then yeah, obviously, you need to sacrifice some stuff, but for the most part, it's literally just a video game. And how you approach your time with it is a little bit different than how you probably approach your time with something like Hollow Knight or whatever, right? Or an Assassin's Creed. But it still doesn't need to be like a 10,000 hour endeavor, right? Grinding corner bottom loops and now all that muscle memory is wrong. So it's really funny because like people will say like, well, the input's easier now, so like what's the big problem? But the thing that kills me is I can't imagine practicing bomber loops, doing all that stuff, and then I'm changing the input, and because I know for me personally, I wouldn't be able to play the character anymore. When they changed May, like the charge timing and stuff on the Dolphins, which was a good change, it made her stronger, I couldn't play the character anymore, and that was like significantly more minor. Or a thing that's crazy, like I played Bowser Jr. in Smash 4, and when I was really grinding, I was like one of the better Bowser Jr. players. And in Ultimate, well, Bowser Jr., his side B is he jumps in his little cart and he like goes across the stage or whatever, and then you can jump out of it and do whatever. In Ultimate, they changed the input, so you used to do side B, and then you could either press up or jump, and that would either or would like make you stop your forward momentum and you would jump up, and then you could do an aerial attack or whatever. In Ultimate, they made it so it's only the jump button and not up. You can't press up to like stop your momentum and go up. And very, very small change. I can't play the character anymore. That one change, because I spent like 6 years playing a character a specific way, I just can't play them anymore. I'm just constantly like falling off the stage and stuff. So an actual like Z input, like DP input to a quarter circle, I think my brain would actually explode. And it's not something, I'm sure if I grinded it out, I could figure it out. But it was just such like a frustrating thing to have to relearn that I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna have fun in the learning process here, so I'll just learn another character instead. Charge to quarter circle and Renson hurt so much worse. That seems like unbelievably bizarre. And the thing is that like Guilty Gear charge it, power diving press, holy shit. You're not tanking that. Charge inputs in Guilty Gear are unbelievably lenient. They're extremely simple. It's not like Street Fighter 2 hold back for 2.5 seconds type vibe. It's like this is a 30-second charge or a 30-frame charge most of the time. If anyone played even remotely like Axel, I'd drop him in an instant. But you don't need two characters that play like Axel. You don't even need one character that plays like Axel. Damn, my bad. Hey, Breeze Battery, appreciate the sub. Very kind of you. You'd blow some clutch tournament moments or something as years of muscle memory suddenly kicked in. And knowing, like, I would have a pretty bad time with that. Why don't I just type Brian, BR. BR, schwa. Okay. El Snail Erico. Game 3. Guilty Gear's lenient inputs are actually how I got into it. Never understood fighting games until GG. What's really funny is that every input in Guilty Gear is like very, very lenient. And then the half circle shit is like, no, you gotta hit every single direction. Oh, you fucked up your super on wake up. GG's. You missed back diagonal. You went forward diagonal, down, and then back. You missed one diagonal. You're done. You lose. Haha. But charge 20 frames. Oh, Snail Erico gonna win that one. 2-1. Jet Jaguar and Broomstick up next. You're allowed to miss one gold list live and confirmed. Is that true with supers? I know it's true with Gold Lewis, but like with the supers where it's like quarter circle back forward, 99% of the time when it doesn't come out, it's because I went forward, diagonal, down, back, and I missed like the thing, and then I hit forward, and because I missed that one, it didn't work. Unless that's like a change they've made, but yeah, Ramon, how are you? The potbuster motion is horseshit. I love grapplers. I play Tiger. I can't. Potemkin make me full circle, please. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, so you're saying just like the regular half circle is fine, but the potbuster motion, that half circle back forward is, yes, it's full circles in Guilty Gear, like 360s are way easier than the potbuster motion. I didn't really get fighting games until Soul Calibur 2, since combos were easy enough to, I got to start thinking about footsie spacing and all that stuff. Dude, you know what's so fucking crazy? It just came to me right now. I gotta show you guys something real quick. You guys want to see the world's most expensive paperweight? I bought this because it was on sale. It was like $80 off. I bought that like 2 weeks ago. It's still in the box. And the reason it's still in the box is because I don't really have anything I want to play to the point where it's more important than like getting video stuff done right now. And so I was like, I bought it because it's on sale, but I'm not really interested in like playing Pocopia or something that's going to like eat up all my time. Like I have some goals over the next couple of months that I want to hit. But I just remembered NSO has Soul Calibur 2 on it. So I'm cracking that shit open tomorrow. And I'm playing me some Soul Calibur 2. About 2 at launch, and we played a total of 5 hours between us. It hit so hard, I feel you. But dude, if anybody wants to learn Soul Calibur 2, we should chill on Switch 2 because that game is super fucking fun. I think we're in game 3 now, yeah. Oh my god, Broomstick gonna take it. Jet Jaguar, yeah, had a good run. All right. So, I believe that's it. All of these monsters have made it. So we have Plum, Gandalfield, Sir Galaslam, Bahamut Zero, Rosa, TV's Columbo, Borbid Torpor, Saint Hakushin. And then we have Smorbit, Furiosa, is that true? No. No. The winners from this moved on. Furiosa, Stormtide, El Snail Erico, and Broomstick. So Doug, Jet Jaguar, Ivy, Furiosa just missed it. Unfortunate, but it's the way she goes. Dynasty mode on the cabin is the coolest thing ever. I really like single player in Soul Calibur 2. I think that's the dragon everyone's chasing still. Can you use an excuse to dust mine off? I like what they did with Soul Calibur 6 Astaroth, but Soul Calibur 2 Astaroth is pretty fun. He's a better character in terms of like his overall strength compared to the rest of the cast, but he can do fewer things, which is, you know, obviously less fun. Alright, here we go. Won't buy Switch 2, but I wish you fun as a fellow Astaroth player. So I'm not playing Valdo like a sicko. Valdo is pretty fun, but yeah, I've never gotten good with him. At my college, we had SE2 machine, and they eventually had to buy a second one just for Dynasty mode. That's sick. I don't play FG much, but what's really separating Grappler with throw buttons? Okay, so the biggest thing is that while every character can throw, most characters can break the throw with their own throw. If you both press throw, you can like parry their throw. But with command input throws, you can't break those. So it creates a new situation where the grappler has an advantage up close that you don't, which is they can do their regular throw, they can do an attack, or they can do a command throw. And the command throw is something that you have to always be aware of, because the only way to get out of it most of the time, if they've got you cornered or locked down, is to jump. And jumping in most fighting games is not a advantageous place to be. So it's just another level of like mental stack. When you're on defense against a grappler, you're like, this is the thing I got to worry about. Coming from a Smash Bros. Brain, explaining grappler is very hard. The archetype only really exists in traditional 2D. Yeah, like characters with command throws in Smash, the command throws give them more like personality and more identity, but it's not significantly different than how throws work normally in Smash. Have I streamed any Diablo recently? No, I have not. Not since the last time. Like, if you think of, like, who has, like, a command, like, a dash grab? Like, in alt, you've got Ridley or, like, Incineroar or something like that. It's something you have to think of, but it's still just a grab, right? The double grit. They both got 99% chance to hit. Who swings first? Spin kick? Smorbit, gonna take it. This game, PlayStation 1, just seeing it pop into my YouTube. Am I using emulator playing the game? No, we're actually playing on Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX, which is a re-release that came out in 2021 for Steam and for the Switch and for iOS. So we're doing a little tournament right now. These are all monsters that the community has put together. Gandalf Field and Stormtide up next. Gandalf Field's name not working because I have this stupid Tanuki skin on it. Does make me feel a little bit bad because the joke is lost, but you know, it is what it is. It's like the opposite of Pink, where like Pink's name works really well because the skin makes it red, but this is very different. All right, here we go. Ground dodge also existing in Smash hurts the idea. I mean, yeah. It's a different way to approach the same thing. Smash is like, most of the time you don't want to be above your opponent. That's usually a pretty disadvantageous place to be. Same way with like traditional fighters. But jumping a grab is like an extremely good way in Smash to get something started. Sub looks cool though, thank you. I do think I did a good job, it's just, it's not the right monster. The double belly attack? That's 1-all, right? The one problem with the Jill is that the texture for the inside of his fingers and the inside of his toes is the same. So I made the mistake of making his feet black and his hands white. And so inside his fingers it's black, but I mean, only so much I can do, right? Damn, hits the headbutt. Stormtide, gonna take it. Alright, Borbid Torpor and El Snail Erico up next. One. Well, it was 1-1 before that, yeah. If there was one monster combo I wish I could see someday, it would be Poncho Octopi. What would the shell be? Inside a pearl? That's kind of similar to like Shaluncho, right? Shaluncho is the shell, and then it's a little like fish on the inside. You could probably repurpose that a little bit. Even though that probably works better for Ogio. Fishbowl? Dude, a fishbowl? What can you do with the clamshell? Oh, punch combo. Big damage with 1 life. He hits it. We're going to game number 2. I love Octopi. He's so cute. Octopi's sick. He's an adorable little guy. Game 3. Here we go. Rolling Bomb, 99%. A little bit of damage. He's got the anger. Hits another one. 99 guts. He's going to do so much damage. Electric Whip, 800 damage on the crit. Holy. Do a Broken Pot or something. Classic Octopus Hide. That could be cool. What would be funny is like an aquarium like set piece, like a log or like a treasure chest or something. Octopi is the first mon I ever beat a Monster Rancher game with, so he's always gonna be special. That's sick. You could always play 3. You could always play 3. We're doing Monster Rancher tournaments for 3 as well. I'm not running them, but someone else is. You need to figure out the emulation. It's a lot easier now than it used to be. It's much less intensive on the new version of PCSX2. The Foolery? Damn, tail combo, a little bit of damage there. We got some anger. Angry Tail Lash is not enough to kill, though. Gives him power. Ooh, what are we going to get? A power? Power Tail? It's pretty okay. You can deal Power Tail. 70% on that move is insane. Like, it's like, what, plus 22 or something? Very unfamiliar with emulation altogether. That's okay. I'm sure people would be willing to help you out. I'm constantly, like, yawning. Dude, I had boxing today, and I felt so sick while I was doing it. It reminded me a lot of when I was, like, in really bad shape. When I had first started. Like, the type of fatigue and the type of sweat and, like, the, like, sickness I felt. And I couldn't figure out why it was like that. And I think it's just my sleep schedule's been kind of messed up, because I've been doing these, like, this weekly event where I'm out super late every night. But now that all of them have been canceled, I think, you know, my schedule is gonna normalize a bit, and I'll be able to go do a workout without feeling like I'm gonna die. That was 1-1? Yes, because Rosa won game 1. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my orgy events got canceled. I'm sorry too. All right, let's figure this out. Who wins this one? Rosa and Broomstick. I have the stress of my boss promising me a project any second for the full day, and now I get to wait for it tomorrow. Yawning's all that's left. Yeah, so I don't know if you were here, Trouble Vision, when the stream started, but basically all week I've been doing this event. It's like a nightly thing. And they had me scheduled for basically until like the second week of April. It was like every single night for almost 3 weeks. And then today I was working on some quotes for them for some new stuff. And then they were just like, oh, also they asked me for a quote. I gave it to them. It was like they wanted something additional. And they were just going to pay for it, but they needed to like justify it to someone else in the department. And so I was like, okay, here's what it would cost. And they're like, cool, thank you. And then they like signed the contract. And then like 20 minutes later, they're like, oh, actually, we're canceling all of the events after today. And so I was like, oh, okay. Do I have to like fight you in court now to get paid? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I booked these dates because, you know, you told me I had constant work, and I said no to other work and all this stuff. Scammed? Kinda. It's just, it's annoying. And it's annoying for my boss, too, because, like, I'm, like, a freelancer, right? So, my boss was also blindsided. He's like, what the fuck do you mean you, like, are not doing the event anymore? Like, you have signed contracts with us. So, it's, like, doubly messed up because he doesn't know if he's gonna have to, like, deal with them in court. And I don't know if I'm gonna have to, like, try and get something figured out between me and my boss. It's just, it's really, really annoying. Basically read contracts for a living, so to answer your question, it depends on the contract if you have to drag them. No, I know. Like, it's not, the question is more rhetorical. It's like, are we going to do this the nice way, or is it going to be like a frustrating ordeal for me to get paid, basically? Like, are you just going to own up as a repeat client who, you know, I've done like dozens and dozens of events with, or what's going to go on? Like, how do you want to proceed, basically? The actual, like, getting paid is my boss's problem. But then me getting paid is a conversation between me and my boss, which is also, you know, super annoying. Will you just be cool? Ask from both sides. Yeah, exactly. Their side being cool is just you not getting paid, and then you're in front of an arbitrator. Yeah, exactly. Best case scenario, they're a big company you quietly send an invoice to and get paid for a month of no work. That would be best case scenario. But with how many quotes I've had to send, I don't think that's going to happen. There's been so many times where they have asked for something and I've been like, okay, here's the price. And they're like, well, how come it's this expensive? And it's like, because it's that expensive. Like, well, if we were to go rent it from another store or whatever, it would be less expensive. And I'm like, okay, yeah, if you rented a lower quality piece of equipment, you could get it for cheaper. Yes, like, is this an own? Like, is this a gotcha? Like, yeah, if you got something shittier, it would cost you less money. You're right. And if you hired someone less experienced, you know, the hourly rate would be cheaper too. Like, what's going on here? What are we doing here? Like, they rented some TVs, and they're like, how come it's like $400 to rent a 70-inch TV? Like, I can go buy a 70-inch TV for $400. And we're like, yes, you should. You should go buy the $400 70-inch TV, 100%. I'm not going to argue with you. You should go do that, and then it'll be your responsibility to set it up. Like, absolutely. If you want to pay me to set it up for you, there will be a labor charge. It won't be extra. But I would love to set up your TV and not have, you know, to truck it and like hire someone to help me get it off the truck and all that extra stuff. You want to bring it in, be my guest. And then they're like, well, but then we'll have a TV that, and we won't know what to do with it after. And it's like, yeah, you've explained that's the situation. Yes. That's why you rent versus buy. Congratulations. You've figured it out. But yes, the reason it costs $400 is because it's too big for me to bring it in my car. So we need to get a truck, and then we need to get someone to drive the truck, and then that person who's driving the truck has to help me load it off the truck. So you're paying for labor, and you're paying for gas, and you're paying for the rental of the truck for a few hours, and you're paying for the TV itself. And that's why it's $400. If you want to go buy a TV and then, you know, spend your day the next day bringing it back to the store being like, oh, it's not actually the right TV, we didn't want this, and like dealing with the return policy and all that, absolutely. If your time's not worth more than that, then you should probably do that. You should probably scam Best Buy. But if this TV rental isn't worth you wasting 2 days, then I don't know. Keep up the good streams. Thank you. Thank you for watching. The spin kick? Alright, he's fucking cooking today. Double spin kick? Missed the second one, though. We got some punches. The many, many punches. Fucking spin kick again? Holy moly. Are 70-inch TVs really 400 Canadian dollars? I don't know. Let's see right now. I can buy a... This is 30% off. Samsung Crystal for 550 Canadian dollars right now. But it's typically about 900. So, you know, half price. $400's about half price. At that point, it's a steal. It's like, why are you arguing with me about it? But I usually don't, unless it's like something super, super egregious, I don't even fact check them. I'm like, yeah, you've made a good point. You should go do that. And then they're like, well, we don't want to. It's like, okay, so what's the argument here? The argument is you want it cheaper because it's about the same price to buy. But you don't want to buy it. But you don't want to rent it for that price. What are we doing? He's doing tributes to Chuck Norris. He's doing the spin kicks. You're in the wrong business. You should be buying for 400 and selling for 900. Exactly. Exactly. They're master negotiators. Dude, I had this client. I talked about them a little while ago. It's the same client I'm talking about right now. No, it's not. It's not. The one I brought up forever ago was this client, and they were the worst client I've ever had in my life. I talked about them on stream. That's not this whole situation. This is a different one. But they would just be like, you guys are really expensive. And I'm like, I don't think we are. And they're like, yeah, you're like, how come this quote is $30,000? Why don't I just go to, fuck it, I'll name it, Encore. Encore is like the biggest audiovisual company in Canada. They're not a Canadian company. They're a multinational. And basically what happened is their business model to go from like a kind of big company to like a mega monopoly was during the pandemic, they bought up all of the other companies that were not able to weather the storm, basically. They bought up all these other like extremely large companies that couldn't that like it couldn't just like eat the loss for 4 years. And so now they're a huge company. And they are prohibitively expensive. They're so expensive, it's like comical. Like, this isn't my take home, but if through a secondary company I am hired, I'm usually sold to the client at $100 an hour. That's not what I get paid. I'm not making that much money, but that's usually what I get sold to the client for, is $100 an hour. Sometimes, depending on the client, if they're really nice or whatever, it's closer to like 80, 85. You know, it's a sliding scale between like 85 and $100 an hour. I get paid the same no matter what. It's just how much the company wants to make on the labor, right? But Encore, this like big ass company, will charge like more than that for like a junior guy. For a guy who you wouldn't trust him to put batteries in a microphone. It's maybe their first day on the job, and they're charging over $100 an hour for that guy. So this client I had was like, why don't we just go with Encore? Why don't we go with them? Why don't we go with the huge company? Like, you're so expensive. We're gonna go get a quote from them. And I remember we had been dealing with this client for 9 months at this point when they say this to me, and it's like, we have been dealing with you constantly for almost a year now, and we are now 3 weeks away from the event, and you are saying that you are going to cancel the contract you signed to go with another company to do this massive event with 3 weeks notice. Like, I don't know how some of these people made it in business. Like, what kind of bluff is that? Like, for a big company like that, you know, is big enough that they can charge whatever they want because they have so much business that they don't need to, like, fight for quotes. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to say when you're like, we have this huge event in 3 weeks, and what's your quote for it? It's going to be, like, maybe 4 to 5 times what ours was. And just the audacity to think that I'm stupid enough to be like, oh, please don't leave, you've been a horrible fucking client for a whole year and you've already signed the contract, so if you break it you have to pay us like 80% regardless as part of the terms. Oh, please, there's nothing more I would hate nothing more than to not have to work with you and still get 80% of my pay. And then watch you lose 4 times additional, like, the cost of the event. Like, what a horrible thing for me that would be. But that was just their vibe, working with them the entire time for the entire year. So it's like, obviously they do this to every vendor they work with, and it's like, how do you have a job as like someone in sales or whatever? We have the opposite. We're the better quality, more expensive. So some people ask us for design quotes. They take it to cheap big boys and say, make this for cheaper because we design better. Yeah. I get that. That does happen for me too, because we are in... most of the companies I work for are not like very small. They're usually like kind of like mid-level companies that exist within the vacuum between like where the big companies were and like this ultra mega corp that Encore is. So there's like a little bit of a gap, and then there's like 1 or 2 companies in Canada that are bigger than us, and then the company I work for most of the time is directly under that. And, you know, we'll do everything there is to do. You want bespoke X or Y, we can do it for you, but it's really funny when I see something like that. It's like, do you not think that I've been in the industry for, I don't know, too long now. But it's always people who, they just think they're smarter than you. That's all it is. A lot of the like C-suite types, they really just think everyone else is an NPC and that they're like the only person that really exists. Like they've got like solipsism. I had another really bad client. The only time I've ever like fired a client on the show. And then they asked me back next year because I was still very good at my job. And I said no. But they were renting projector screens, like drop-down projector screens from a venue that I service. And they're like, every hall we go to gives us projector screens for free. Why do you people charge for the projector screens? And I was like, well, the projectors themselves have a bulb that has a certain amount of lifetime on it. And so, you know, it costs money to install it. It costs money to set it up. I have to take time out of my day to drive here, set it up for you, make sure your computer is connected correctly. And then the bulb, you know, has X amount of hours on it. And when it dies, I need to get another one, and they're not cheap. So there you go. That's why we charge for it. And they're like, well, every other hall we go to gives it to us for free. And I just have to be like, man, like you just like go day to day, like you go throughout your day just assuming everyone else is like a huge fucking moron. Like this is the venue, like this is the business I work in. There's not a single hall, like maybe some like dinky, like it's like a restaurant that has like a drop down projector screen or whatever, and they'll give it to you for free while you're having like your kid's birthday or something like that. But like for like the level of banquet hall we're in, there's a fee for it. And it's like that in every other banquet hall of this level and higher in the entire world. This is my industry. And you're saying, no, it's not like that. It's never been like that. You don't know what you're doing. And I would say maybe like 90% of like the C-suite people I talk to are like that, where they just assume everyone else, they assume they have reached their position through some sort of divine circumstance, and they are the only ones worthy of like weathering the storm and like steering the ship, you know? It would be built into the venue cost. He's stupid. Yeah, and that's what I told him. I'm like, if they're not charging you for it explicitly, it's because you've already been billed for it. And they're like, no, I don't think so. And it's like, it doesn't really matter if you think so or not. Like, I'm telling you, this is how it is. If it wasn't a line item, you got billed for it. But I don't know. It's like, you know, you see it now with like AI psychosis. We're in losers finals, by the way. You see it now with like AI psychosis, where people are learning the most like detrimental thing that can happen to your brain is to be like surrounded by something that is just nothing but like sycophantic praise, right? Like people are offing themselves. It's really fucked up because, you know, this machine lies to them and tells them whatever they want to hear. And that's kind of just what being a C-suite is. Like, that's just, like, you're that guy every day of your life. Except it's not a robot. It's people who are paid to tell you these things. My sector is construction, and part of that is yielding to engineer specialists who I completely trust and are smarter and more practiced than me. Yeah. And a lot of times, if I'm, like, I'm building out a show or whatever, I'll ask somebody who's, like, done the exact thing I'm doing before and be like, does it make sense that I'm doing this? If not, how would I design it to be like more efficient or whatever, more cost effective? And they'll give me an answer. There's always someone who knows more than you. Assuming that's not the case is, you know, I don't know, just a sign that your brain's not working, I suppose. Listening to an AI is like using a magic 8-ball for everything? Yeah, kinda. If it only ever said yes. My division boss was bragging about how cool AI was because he couldn't figure out how he wanted to write an email the other day, and it was the lamest thing on the planet. I don't even know why you'd admit to that. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. I can't say the bit I was about to say. It was very funny, though. You'll just have to believe me. What you should do is you should watch, like, the last, like, 3 minutes of the stream up to this point, and I said something a little bit incendiary, and then, you should be able to build the joke in your own brain about what I was about to say. About someone being, like, obscenely embarrassing. And AI and all that. Anyway, we got Sir Galaslam and Rosa. If you can figure it out, send your letters to P.O. Box. I don't know. 67. Not 67, but 6D7. Care of, Moose Bones. I don't know. This bit's run its course. Laugh track, yeah. It's like the constant stream of AI Seinfeld thing they had, where every line just had like a laugh track after it. That's a pretty good use of AI. That's the type of like Gen AI that I think is like kind of interesting. Is like train it on. Well, that's like large language modeling, right? Is like you train it on a data set to make something interesting. I think like in theory there's like nothing wrong with that. It's all the other baggage around it, right? And I think that's how most people feel. I don't know many people who are like, the concept of LLMs is like poisonous. Like, no, it's kind of a stupid thing to believe. All right. Here we go. We got two monsters. Let's do a bet. It's our last match of the night. Prediction is live. I have young coworkers that ask me how I went through school without AI, and I was just like, with my actual human brain. You know what's really crazy? How I got through high school is I just made shit up a lot of the time when I was doing, you know, soft science stuff. A lot of the books I never read, but I developed the skill of being able to bullshit, and that's, you know, that's being taken away from our children now. They're not learning how to bullshit. It's a very important skill to have. It's super, super important. Here's a real answer. I'm so taken aback by the question. Yeah. Just make up quotes. The teacher's not going to go through the effort to prove you wrong. She's got 35 other students to mark. She's not paying that much attention. I have to remind my people not to scan work contracts or insurance documents into AI to save time. That sounds, oh my God, that's so fucked up. That's such a huge breach of confidentiality. That's so insane. I did all my homework during class after it was assigned and spoke continentally. This man's speaking continentally with context clues. I just made stuff up. I told the story about how a girl in my class kept giving like banger answers about like whatever we were reading, and I was like, she might be the smartest person I've ever met in my life. And then I realized she was just like quoting Sparks Notes or like Cliff Notes for like every single book, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's actually like a 45-year-old like wrote this. It wasn't a 14-year-old. Alright, prediction location on Twitch broken. Were they? 94% on Sir Galaslam, by the way. I would do like 80% of the essay, then fudge the rest. You get an 80, that's a B. You get it. You know what's up. Sir Galaslam 2-0. Needs one more and wins the whole thing. Another trample opener. Rosa's got some potential here, but oh, the pinch throw misses. That might be it. 2 lashes, gonna be a good chunk. A lot of withering on that because of the anger. Sir Galaslam looking to end it. 2 lashes miss at 65. Another trample. He knows what it takes to win. He does it. Everyone's favorite part of science fair was seeing how talented everyone's parents were at making boards. Dude, the only time in my entire life I complained about a grade and my parents went to the school to argue about it was we had this really insane assignment where it was something when I was in grade 8 about also I should end this tournament and show you guys the winners and stuff, but I'll do that while I'm talking. We were talking about recycling and stuff like that and waste, and the assignment, which, you know, my parents rightfully pointed out is like super intrusive, was to mark down what you throw out every day for a week. And so I did. I made a little spreadsheet and I wrote it down, and I, you know, did it to the best of my ability, but like I couldn't do it for everybody. Like, what am I gonna like lose marks if my sister doesn't write something down because she like threw out a napkin or whatever, right? And so I was writing it down, and I had a pretty good sheet, and I made a spreadsheet out of it, and I got it back, and I was like straight A student for the most part. I had a couple of like B's or whatever, but most of the time I was getting A's on everything. And I got it back, and it was like a 30. And I remember not being even upset. I'm like, how the fuck did I get a 30 on this? Like, the assignment was to, you know, track what you throw out and then make recommendations if there's anything you could do. And my family is pretty we'd been recycling like way in, like into the early 90s before it was like super fashionable. My mom was always recycling everything. Every Sunday we would go down to like the recycling bins in town and like dump all our stuff in like the right containers. So there wasn't like a whole lot we could do. But he was like, this is really lazy. Like, my teacher was like, this is really lazy. You didn't really do the assignment. Like, there's obviously so much missing information here. How come you only throw out this much stuff? And I was like baffled. And, you know, my parents, like, they knew I had been like writing stuff down for the assignment. But they're like, parent teacher interviews are coming up, so we're gonna go talk to him about it. And I was like, I don't even care, man. But they're like, no, like, you can't have like a 30 pull down your grade. We're gonna go talk to him. And they went and spoke to him, and he was showing other tests, and he's like, this is like, or other charts other people had made, and it's like, this is like, this was the highest mark in the class, and this and this. And my parents were like, these are like obviously made by the student's parents, like, you know that, right? And he's like, well, I don't think so. And it's like, no, it obviously is. Like, this shit was like put together by someone who does like data entry for their living. Like, this is like, this is not a 12-year-old's handiwork. Like, you have to be a little bit stupid to not notice that, right? And he was like legitimately embarrassed that he didn't know that like half of the reports were like done by the parents, that like he ended up giving me like a 90 something. And then I remember after that, my dad like especially like reamed him, because he's like, why the fuck are you like making judgment calls on like what we do and don't throw away? Like, how is that something that you can mark? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you such like a judgmental asshole? Like, how do you justify being like this? And I was just like, holy fuck, he's going off. I'd already gotten the 90. Like, I'd already gotten the 90. It was over. And he's like, you're like a fucking loser. Like, he was like just short of like being that, like, that was the level of discourse he was at. And it was like, what, you want me to mark down every single thing I throw out, and then you're gonna judge me based on like if I threw out the right things? And then it turns out I did throw out the right things, and I did recycle the right things, and you didn't believe my son when he said so he lost marks for that as well. And yeah, that guy was a huge piece of shit. He died shortly after, and you know, it sucks. People die. I don't revel in the death, but there's been a couple of times where like a teacher has been like especially like ruthless to me, and then has like mysteriously passed away. And I don't know. I think maybe being mean to me is like a curse. It happened with a manager. It happened with like 2 different school bullies I had. Another person, yeah, it's happened like a dozen times. I don't know. I don't know what. Like, I've told the story about how when I was at the grocery store working, and on my last day, you know, I had been doing pranks with one of my coworkers. Me and him had like been pranking each other, and they were like, some of them were like more clever than others. One of them was like, he put like a rotten container of like Vienna sausages propped on a doorway, so when I walked through and opened the door, it like spilled all over me, and I had to go to work smelling like rotten like cocktail wieners. And like, that's not very clever. Or like, he hid behind the corner and like slapped me in like the head with like a thing of cabbage or whatever. Like, it's just like stupid, right? We were going back and forth. It is what it is. But on my last day, I got on the PA and I like congratulated him for losing his virginity, because I found out that day that he had just lost his virginity. So I told everybody in the store where, like, what aisle he was working in, where they could find him, and yada yada yada. And then I left. I had already clocked out. I was done. I did that, and then I left. And the manager was so mad that I heard that he was like just like wandering around the store for like 2 hours, just like pacing, because he was so pissed off about it. And it wasn't the actual manager. The actual manager is a huge piece of shit who like beat his wife and stuff, and like, you know, he's an asshole. But it was the assistant manager. And the assistant manager literally tried to pay his son to fight me, to beat me up, because he was so mad about this thing I had done, about a thing that a teenager had done. Can you imagine being that much of a loser? And then like weeks later, he backed into a transformer with his truck, and it like exploded. And like, dude, I don't know. Like, it's such a bizarre way to die. And like, you know, again, there's no, like, I know I literally just laughed because just the picture is like, in my brain, is like out of a comic book movie or whatever. I'm not happy he's gone, but like, you know, he literally tried to pay someone to beat me up. So am I going to sit here and pretend I'm upset? Like, oh, we got to have some decorum for the dead. Like, fuck that. Dude was a huge asshole. And then I had a bully in high school who like just kept threatening to fight me, but wouldn't fight me. And I was just like, let's just fucking fight. And he wouldn't fight me, but he kept threatening to fight me. And it was just like, it was so bizarre. And like, it didn't really get to me too much, but I was just like, this dude's such a fucking asshole. Like, what the hell? And then like, he died weeks after graduating in grade 12. And then like, it just keeps happening. I don't know. Like, you're not allowed to be mean to me. I just came in here losing virginity, manager mad, 2 hours doing nothing, walking a transformer and blow up and die. Yeah. He wanted to be my friend? Maybe. I don't know, man. Teachers that were ruthless to me are immortal and still sucking blood to this day. I remember I had one teacher who was kind of an asshole to me, who I actually saw at the store the other day. It was at like Christmas when I was visiting my parents. He looked exactly the same as I remember him, which is funny because it was 20 something years ago. But also thinking about it, I was probably like an obnoxious kid in his class. So him being like sick of my shit is like, it's probably understandable. I don't hold it against him. This has not been an isolated incident. There are several instances of people wrongdoing Nash and just inexplicably dying. Yeah, it's really, really bizarre. I'm about to hear about a string of mystery deaths from the comment section. Those aren't real people. That's the difference. That's some shit I imagined to like get mad and waste time. If you don't admit to the teacher that you dispose of adult hygiene products, you'll fail. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. It was such a stupid project to begin with. And it's literally the only time I've ever had a mark changed, because both my parents and I are like, even as a kid, I was like, my parents don't fight my battles for me. I figure my shit out. If the teacher thinks I deserve to fail, then I probably deserve to fail. But I came home and I was like laughing. Like, I was just like, I can't believe it. Like, how did I get a fucking 30? And I showed them and they're like, this dude's insane. We're going to go talk to him. My dad is exactly like me, except way angrier. Way shorter fuse, but exactly like me otherwise. So just imagine that. I usually just lurk around here. I want to take this opportunity to say you're such a great streamer. Please don't kill me. All right, I appreciate that. You're safe for now. Lurking is pretty safe because if I don't know you exist, then like, you know, you have not been observed. You're fine. You're off the list, yeah. You just didn't make the list. Reverse check mark. Whoop. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's actually something I'd been thinking about today because there's this post I saw on Blue Sky that was frying me a little bit, where the guy was like, was it the founder of OnlyFans died today. He's only like 40 something, and everyone's like, damn, sucks to suck, asshole, because, you know, he was a huge piece of shit and he's dead, and oh well, he's dead, who cares? And it's like, it's bad for your soul to be happy when people die, and you should never ever have ill will towards anyone, and this and that. And it's like, you sound like a dumb freak, dude. Like, this is performative bullshit, man. Like, when my enemies die, I'm not supposed to be like, I'm supposed to be sad. Like, you sound stupid. You sound like someone who doesn't live in the real world. These are not human reactions. Do you have to celebrate it? No. Do you have to have a little bit of decorum? Depends. If you don't, is it the end of the world? Probably not. You know? It's probably not the end of the world. The Eye of Moose Bones only knows you existed if you put on the ring. That's true. I got over the whole not wishing ill on anyone thing like 20 years ago. Yeah, man. Like, what kind of fucking stupid world? Like, you know, not gonna get super political about it, but like the Charlie Kirk thing is like, I don't think political assassinations are a good thing. Do I think the world is probably better with less hateful people? Probably, yeah. But I don't necessarily agree with the means of, you know, political assassination. I don't think that's something that should be applauded. But also, pretending I have to be upset about it is like, you know, we're doing a performative dance where you're checking to make sure that I'm reacting the same way, I'm reacting the correct way, because it signals to other people that you care that people are reacting the correct way, and then I'm doing the same thing in reverse, and it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, you don't actually care, I don't actually care. Whatever. The people who like ostensibly liked him apparently don't care. It's not, these aren't things that affect my life, you know? There's a difference between not having empathy to people you didn't like and wishing harm to people you didn't like. Yeah, for sure. Like, the thing with that Afroman thing is like really funny, right? Because like, if you guys don't know Afroman, the Because I Got High guy, da, 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 I was gonna clean my room and then I got high. That guy, like 3 years ago, cops busted into his house and like broke down his door and stole money from him and all this shit. It's all on cameras because he's a freak who had like 1,000 video cameras in his house. They ended up suing him because he made a bunch of music videos like harassing them. I'm gonna put harassing in quotes. He was probably technically harassing them, but like they deserve it. About like, why'd you break down my door? Like bullshit, trumped up charges. There was no warrants. Like there, you didn't find anything, and then now I have to pay for all the stuff you broke, and you stole money from me while you were in my house. Like what the fuck? And so they charged him, or they brought him in civil court for defamation, and which is just, I don't think anything he said is particularly inflammatory. But he won his case. The cops did not win their defamation lawsuit against him. And there's so many people coming out of the woodwork to be like, yeah, but like he's a libertarian and he supports Donald Trump, so like it's not actually a good thing he won and this and that. And it's like, brother, you like rights only work if they work for everybody, right? Do I think he's a good guy? No, I don't think he's a good guy. Am I going to support the same things he supports? No, but like you can only have liberty and you can only have rights if they apply to everybody, right? Even people with really, really shitty politics. And so it's so funny to see people who are like, you can't be mad about, like, you can't make jokes about Charlie Kirk. But I really wish that Afroman lost a trumped up defamation case because he has politics that I don't agree with. It's like, I don't know, man. People's brains are fried. People got to get offline and start doing some more jumping jacks. One of the officers had the gall to be sad that random people send him free pound cakes. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know, man. I really think, and like it's preaching to the choir. It's telling somebody who's depressed to go for a walk. I get it. It's nothing is more obnoxious than hearing that you need to get off social media and start doing other stuff. But because nobody wants to hear that. It's so fucking preachy and obnoxious. But goddamn, dude, when I stopped using social media pretty consistently, like my outlook on life got so much better. I was in such a bad space during the pandemic, just like doom scrolling on Twitter. I remember during the first BLM protests, I remember there was one day where I woke up at like 9 a.m. and then I was going to work on a video and I had my coffee and then I had lunch and then I had dinner and I came back and then it was time to stream. So it is now 8 p.m. and I had literally only looked at arguments on Twitter about the BLM protests. And I was like, this can't be good for me, man. And that was like the big turning point where it's like, I just spent 12 hours just being mad. And I get it. Like, it's important to know what's going on in the world, but you need to take care of yourself. Friend lost her job because she made a post on social media about Kirk. It wasn't even that bad. I'd be going crazy after that. I'd be making the most unhinged shit after that. Say like this, you either consume or create. Humans need to create 2 times more than they consume for peak happiness. Make something. Yeah, the 2 times rule it's mostly kind of like trumped up nonsense because that it's way too hard to spend 2 times of like twice as much time making stuff as it is to create stuff or as it is to consume stuff, because you need to consume stuff to create stuff. Ideas do not exist in a vacuum, right? So that's not when I was younger, that was a goal I tried to stick to. And now that I'm older, it's probably like 50-50, like 1 for 1. And I think that's a pretty difficult benchmark to hit a lot of the time still. But I would say, like, jumping off that point, if you're going to consume, do it with something that has substance, right? I consider working out producing. I would too. It's productive for sure. But if it, like the consuming just needs to be done a little bit more intelligently, right? Like maybe you don't watch 400 shorts in a row. Maybe you watch a movie instead, right? And create something while watching a movie. I feel like if you're actively creating something worth value while watching a movie, you're probably not getting everything from the movie that you could be. If that's how you like watching movies, that's fine. Like, if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna tell you it's wrong, right? I'm just saying it's like watching a movie shouldn't be considered like a waste of your time, right? Like it's like, oh, this watching this and like being enriched by this art is putting me over. I now have like a 1.98 times multiplier on my ratio of creating to consuming. Like I think it's noble to try and aim for something like that, but I also think it's very easy to get about the metric. If your goal is to take inspiration from something, even watching or listening to something can be codified as productive. Okay, yeah, I guess I can agree with that. It's more of guidelines for sure. But the only reason I'm bringing it up is not because I'm saying you're wrong for saying it. It's that I'm using personal experience where I literally thought 2 times. It has to be 2 times when I was in my 20s. And it was so draining to just act like that because I would make shit that sucked really bad and be like, well, at least, you know, if I'm making something that sucks, it's still better than making nothing at all. And that's an okay mindset to have. But if you're just making stuff constantly, like I know people who they're always making drawings in MS Paint or whatever, right? And they are not getting any better. They're at the same level of skill that they were when they started making this stuff, like when they were 16 years old. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's something that brings them joy. It's an outlet for them. But if the goal is to improve, then mindlessly making stuff is like, everything has to be done with intention, right? Is basically what I'm saying. Have you heard this idea of do nothing for 24 hours to boost creativity? No, I would never do that. I can't do nothing. I have like people in my life that rely on me. I, I have friends and loved ones, so that's never been, like crossed my mind. For me, having YouTube and Twitch on or like having the radio on, it gave noise. I'm drawing constantly, but with Steel Ball Run hit Netflix, I had my full attention. Yeah, okay, that's great. I can see that. That's like a thing with like Twitch views are all fucked up right now. And like a lot of people who, it's not a thing that affects me too much because I'm not stressed about the metrics day to day. But other people who are like really small and they're like trying to make the push are getting like fucked over by new Twitch metrics where it's like if you, even if you have the sound on, but like it's not the active window. Even if you have it second monitor, but it's not the active window, you are doing something else. It doesn't count for a view for some people. And it's just like, do you not understand how people consume your platform? Like, I would be fucking shocked if 5% of the people who watch me are just like main monitor watching Monster Rancher battles. I heard that. I don't know if it's legit. Netflix whole second screen rant. Yeah, exactly. Like you guys aren't watching it like intently. You're watching it when it's like, oh, that's a match I'm interested in. Let me watch the dragon. Let me watch the worm. And then it's like on in the background while you do other stuff, right? It's main on phone. That's true. It is main on phone. But yeah, I don't know how legit it is. I try not to care too much about the metrics and all of that in terms of like, oh no, they're ruining it again, because it's like, I can't do anything about it. Like, what am I going to do? Just be pissed off? I tend to turn people to 5% volume if I'm lurking and have them in other windows, hopefully to ensure my view counts. I don't know if it does, man, if I'm going to be honest, but also I appreciate it regardless. They do nothing approaches for people who are fried with overstimulation, can't hold the same thought for more than a minute. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I play my game and have you on the side. Yeah, like I would be crazy to assume it was like that. Even if you're watching someone who's like has like 10,000 people watching them on a regular stream, like an NL or like even someone bigger like Kai Cenat or whatever. or like you're watching Speed in whatever country he's off gallivanting in, 90% of the time you're probably not actively watching. It's like you tab over when something interesting is happening. Open a new window, not a new tab. Even window. It checks for what the active app is, apparently. So right now, Twitch is not my active window because I clicked on OBS. Which is the thing that I think people are complaining about, is like, what an insane way to like count views. Oh man, I don't know if it's real or not. I don't really care. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. A little bit of a shorter night. Only 25 monsters we're fighting, but we got through rank D. I'm chatting between floors on Let It Die, but chatting counts you as a viewer for like 15 minutes or something. That's pretty funny. I always pay 100% attention and NL can't afford to miss a bit I won't understand. Can't afford to miss a gay Bob Dylan bit or whatever. He's talking about Steely Dan or some other band that is like impressive to know a lot about if you're 20 years older than he is. It's fine. I love NL. I never watch the streams though. I will never watch a stream, and it's not like me making a hard line in the sand. It's just I can't care enough to like tune in. I'm doing other stuff in the morning. Anyway, let's raid somebody. Fun night. Someone's gotta be playing Monster Rancher, right? Yeah, all right. Keyblade War Hero. We raided them many moons ago, and they're playing some more Monster Rancher. So let's go say hi. Fenrick's in chat. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be playing some Monster Rancher tomorrow. We're going to be making our monsters for the Deluxe Cup. And it's fun because I don't even know what I want to make it. I legitimately don't know. So I'm going to put some thought into it, and we'll figure it out tomorrow together. Have a good night. Bye-bye.